The last couple of years for Tata Motors in the Indian auto industry have been a bit tough. They've actually been fighting a losing battle across all the segments in the Indian passenger car market. However, with the Horizon Next campaign, future for Tata cars in India looks very promising. For example, the all-new Zest launched a few months back is doing good numbers in the segment. And now, the second new car is the Bolt. Now for the masses, the Bolt can be seen as a Zest without a boot at a lower sticker price. So the common and the big question remains, can the Bolt swiftly take away the eliteness from other cars in the same segment? Well, to get the answer, we are in the lovely city of Udaipur with the 1.2-litre Revotron Petrol model.
Tata has adopted the top-down approach with the Zest and the Bolt here. This hatchback is largely based on the Zest, but of course is shorter in length due to absence of a proper boot. The rest of the car design remains same, but with minor changes. The headlamps, for example, get a smoke defect and daytime running lights are missing here. The side profile looks the same except for different styled alloy wheels. The rear, as mentioned earlier, is the biggest change. While Tata has worked hard to make this part of the car look pleasing, the end result is pretty average. There seems to be something incomplete with the design here, especially considering how interesting the front end is. What is great, however, is the overall build quality and paint finish. The cabin design is a lift-off from the Zest and the all-black treatment does look sporty. Full marks here to Tata as far as touch and feel of the materials is concerned. It's a spacious cabin, no doubt, and is the most feature-loaded hatch from Tata ever. The top-end version that we drove comes with steering controls, ABS and dual airbags, alloy wheels, driver info display, climate control, and a pretty impressive infotainment system with as many as 8 speakers. However, just to point out, some of the other cars in the same segment also offer goodies like keyless start-stop, rear camera, rear AC, front armrest, cool glove box, and so on. The all-new Tata Bolt has a boot space capacity of 210 litres. Well, moving on, now let's hear it from Bunny on how it feels from a driver's perspective.
Now we drove the Zest in Goa a few months back and frankly, the Bolt feels a lot similar. Of course, Tata is trying to make the car a lot more sportier to appeal to the young at heart, and it's pretty much evident. First of all, it's a lighter car, so slightly better performance. They have retuned the engine for better response. The gear ratios are slightly changed. The suspension is on the firmer side. The steering feels sharper. So I think all these small changes actually go a long way in making the car more enjoyable from a driver's point of view. We have been driving the 1.2-litre Revotron engine since morning, and I think it does a fine job. It's not an out-and-out performance-oriented engine, but has enough juice in the low end, is fairly economical as per the display, and so overall it's a very enjoyable car. And at the same time, however, there is a problem. Ergonomics are a huge letdown, and I'll tell you why. None of the 4 door pads have a proper bottle holder. There are no cup holders to keep your juices or your soft drinks. There are no cubby holes to keep your wallets, the keys of the house, your mobile phones, and so on. And if Tata is trying to target the younger generation, the youth, the metrosexual guy, they will have a problem, because the same kind of people, for them, the car has to be their second home. The car has to be very practical, but in this case, ergonomics are a bit of a letdown.
Well, Bunny does have a point there, and the same goes for rear seat passengers, we think. As compared to the Zest, the boot space has taken a hit, being smaller than other cars like the Liva and the Grand i10. Coming back to the drive feel, as Bunny pointed out, the Revotron unit does its job pretty well. Open highways are where we drove the car first and simply loved the way it ate up miles. The Bolt feels mature at high speeds, and the engine has a punchy low and mid-range. Load up the Bolt with a family of 4 and the luggage in this car will drive through states without an issue, from being stable on open highways to being agile on city roads. The Bolt can play multiple roles nicely. The steering is placed slightly oddly but is fairly responsive and will suit most drivers. The Bolt on paper looks promising. Will this car bring along a sea of change in the segment, or will this be just another stone splash in a big calm lake?
Now I will start my verdict by saying that the Bolt is a wonderful product. It shows you how Tata has improved as a car manufacturer in the last couple of years. However, at the same time, the Bolt will have two major uphill tasks in its life. Now the first task is to erase the memories of the Indica and the Vista brand from a buyer's mind. And the second is the fierce competition. There are simply too many good cars selling in the same segment at the same price band. However, as I said, it's a great car. It rides very well, feels like a much bigger car, lot of features, lot of gizmos, great engine options, and finally, Tata knows how to play the pricing game perfectly well. I think the Bolt is a bold move from Tata at the right time.